everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video I want to talk about 2023 goals. More specifically, I want to take a look at last year, do some reflections. Then I want to take a look at 2023 and set some goals with you. And then I want to talk about a couple of goals that I've set and achieved already in the past and how I did that, and maybe share some tips with you. I actually wanted to film this video a lot earlier, but I just didn't have the time to think about my goals because I've been so busy with studying and going to lectures and social obligations that I just didn't have the time to think about the next year, you know? I've been so busy thinking about the now that I didn't have the time to think about tomorrow. And I still have so much studying to do, so I am going to film this vlog, but I'm also going to study and I'm also going to the gym. Actually, this morning was the first time I thought about my goals. I just didn't have the time before, and I did a lot of extensive research, watching YouTube videos, looking up how to set goals and be realistic about them and how to achieve them. And I think I have a couple of things that I would like to implement next year, and I also would like to share those with you. But first, I'm gonna make myself a cup of coffee because I haven't had any coffee today and I've been doing research for hours now and I really need it.
While driving in the backseat, what's left of me?
A little taste test.
Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity.
Not bad. Not great either.
The human it gets colder, you know. Sometimes everything just gets hot.
Okay, I've mixed the coffee. Let's try it again. Needs more milk. Okay, it has more milk. Let's try it again. Yeah, I don't think I can say this coffee. It's just not great. Okay, let's go to my desk now.
Keep losing sleep, I'm manic dream at midnight. So hard to please. Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting close.
I just checked my schedule and there is a lot that I have to do today, and that's also because I need to catch up on some stuff from a few days back as well. So I think I'm gonna go to the library in a little bit, but first I want to reflect on last year's goals and take a look at them and laugh at them, because I have to make a confession because last year I wasn't very serious about my goals for 2022. So I kind of wrote some goals down, kind of like a joke, and I haven't looked at them in a year and I know where they are, but I'm just kind of scared to open it and to look at it because I know it's gonna be embarrassing. But we're filming this video, we're trying to learn from last year, so I guess I just kind of have to do it. So I have found my goals. They were written down in an Instagram post, and by the way, feel free to follow me on Instagram if you want to. I will leave my ads over here. I thought it would be fun to kind of walk you through these goals and tell you whether I did achieve that goal or not. So here we go. I wanted to keep up with working out 3 to 5 times per week. I think I did that. Drink a lot of water and tea, less coffee. Well, we can see how that turned out. First hour of my day, no phone. I didn't do that this year, but I have done that in the past and I really thought it was beneficial. It was really great, so I might do that again in the near future. And I also said keep up with stretching 1 time per week. I definitely do that. Sometimes I stretch even more than 1 time per week. Personal goals: learn how to run 5 kilometers comfortably. I definitely did not do that. Eat healthy and meal prepping. The healthy eating, yes, I did order a lot less takeout this year, but the meal prepping, not so much. Less Netflix in my evenings. No, I did not do that. I watched a lot of Netflix this year. Go to bed before 11 p.m. and wake up before 8 a.m. No, I did not do that. Then I have my work goals. I think these are the worst. Post 3 to 5 times per week on Instagram. Nope. Post a new YouTube video 1 time per 2 weeks. Nope. keep uploading new focus plans, nope. Launch new products for my shop, no. And post more reels, no. I don't think I've achieved any of my work goals. That having said, I did have a very hard year school-wise, so maybe that's why I didn't focus on work as much. And then my uni goals are keep working hard on my master's degree. I think I did that. Get another article published. I don't even know what I was thinking. No, I did not do that. And then my last goal is do well at my internship. I personally think that I did do well, but it's such a vague goal. I mean, I could have done a lot less well and I could still say the same, you know? So I think that goal doesn't really count. So I think what went wrong last year is that I made 3 mistakes. Hi, this is a little bit later, but I did more reflecting and I found out that there was another mistake. And that mistake was that my goals weren't specifically for me. They wouldn't add anything to my life. I think my goals were more for a person who I thought I wanted to be, but they wouldn't actually add something in my life. For example, I wrote down that I wanted to meal prep, even though I do have the time to cook and I enjoy cooking. So meal prepping doesn't make any sense for me, for my situation. And they might make sense for somebody else, but they don't make any sense for me. So that's also something that I have to take in consideration. First of all, my goals were in a place where I couldn't access them very quickly, so they were in my phone, like in an Instagram post from a year ago. That's not a place that I go to regularly, so I definitely should put my goals somewhere where I can see them every day. Second of all, I planned way too many goals. They were all over the place. I tried to improve myself in so many aspects of my life that you kind of lose focus because there is just so much going on. And then the third thing that went wrong is that my goals were much too vague. I already gave you the example of doing well at my internship. What does that even mean? You know, how can I do well at my internship? Is do my best enough, or is performing higher than average enough, or should I be perfect? Is that enough? I think that I should be more precise when setting goals, and it is definitely something that I will take with me this year. I need to study now. Taking a little break from studying now. I've studied for about an hour and so far it's going really great. I made some recordings on my phone of the lectures and I'm listening to those and I'm completing my notes. So that's what I've been doing, but now I want to focus on setting some goals for 2023 and I'm gonna show you. I have my water and this is the place where I want to think about my goals and set my goals. So I have my laptop for research, for finding inspiration and stuff. Then I have like a couple of notes that I took while I was researching this morning, and I have my iPad because I want to try and make a vision board. Then I also have my little notebook that I want to write my goals in, and I have pens and water. I wrote down my goals, but it was quickly getting dark outside because it was raining, and then I decided to just go back to studying and then go to the gym and then study some more. Today's the next day and I am going to talk you through my goals for 2023. So my first goal is to work out and to be more consistent in working out. I already am the type of person who goes to the gym like 4 to 5 times per week and I'm really proud of that, but I also want to be able to have like a consistent workout routine. So that is what I will be working on. I will have a workout schedule that is a little bit more strict and that will lead me to having better results. And then of course that goal is divided into sub goals. So my first goal is to be consistent. So I want to go to the gym on the same days every week instead of going to the gym 5 times, but every week it's like on random times. The second sub goal is to have a plan, to have a workout plan, to go there and to know what I have to do during the 45 minutes that I'm in the gym. And then my third sub goal is to have a split between different body parts on different days, because now sometimes I train my lower body and then I also do arms on the same day, but I want to have like a strict split between my different body parts. I created a vision board specifically for my working out goal because I felt like I had to visualize it, and I kind of created the days of the week and what I would like to do in the gym. On Monday we have abs and cardio with pictures that represent that. On Tuesday we have lower body. On Wednesday we have upper body. On Thursday we have stretching and resting. On Friday we have lower body again, and then on Saturday we have a day that is dedicated to the back, and then on Sunday it's rest day or stretching and yoga again. My second goal is to learn how to wake up earlier, and I want to learn this because I notice that I'm the most productive during my mornings, but I often have trouble waking up and then I sleep in a little bit, even though I would love to be able to wake up earlier. So my first sub goal is to go to bed earlier. Of course, if you want to wake up earlier, you also have to go to bed earlier. The second sub goal is to somehow beat my bedtime procrastination. Bedtime procrastination is this type of procrastination where you procrastinate going to bed because you want to keep on living your life, you want to relax, you want to do some personal stuff because you're super busy during the day. I will have to find out how to combat that bedtime procrastination and go to bed at a regular time instead of spending lots of time in the evening doing basically nothing. And then my third sub goal is to be consistent, so to go to bed at the same time and to wake up at the same time every day, because that will definitely help me to have a proper bedtime routine. And now my last goal, which is also a little bit for you guys. The goal is to be more consistent on YouTube, and to achieve this I have created a couple of sub goals. The first sub goal is to find out what schedule works for me. So for example, can I upload once per week or twice per week? How many times can I realistically upload each month without burning out and without, you know, my schoolwork suffering? My second sub goal is finding a couple of subjects that I want to talk about. So right now my content is mainly focused on studying, and even though that's a big part of my life, it's not the only part of my life. I also really enjoy reading books. I also really enjoy cooking. I enjoy working out. I enjoy my walks, and I feel like I don't nearly show you those areas of my life enough. So I want to stick to like 2 or 3 subjects at the time. So I want to start talking more about other areas in my life, and I want to kind of figure out what I want to talk about and then incorporate that into my channel. Sub goal number 3 is finding out what works for you guys. So do you prefer one very long vlog per week, or do you prefer 2 shorter vlogs per week? Or would you prefer to have just the tips and no vlogs at all? I really want to post what you guys want to see, and I want to work on that. And I also want to create a stronger community because I just love hearing your stories. I love reading your comments, and I really enjoy sharing my journey with you guys. And I would love to see our bond even stronger than it is right now. My last sub goal is to stay consistent. So I want to have a couple of months to kind of experiment what works for me and what works for you guys, but when I know what works for the both of us, I want to stick to doing that for the rest of the year. So I want to stay consistent, and I want to upload as much as I can this year, and hopefully at the end of the year you will have a lot of videos that you can watch, and we will have a really close bond together, and it will be just so much fun. I also created a vision board for the very first time. I used Pinterest to find all of these images, and they kind of represent what I want in this year. So here we see the studious part of me, you know, the girl who always studies, and we see more studying but also vlogging. It's a bit small, but You can see the vlogging, walking, which I also love, reading, working out, wearing cute clothes, waking up early, and more reading. So this kind of represents my general goals for 2023, and this is what I want my life to look like. Good morning! Today is the next day. Yesterday evening was New Year's Eve and I went to bed a little bit too late, so I'm tired today, but I have a cup of coffee, so all is right again in the world. I promised you I would share some tips on how to achieve your own goals, and I have 3 tips that will definitely help you to get on the right track. I noticed what really helped me is turning your goal into a habit, and you turn it into a habit by doing it every time you have to do. So you have to stay consistent, and that's actually the hardest part, but at one point you're doing it every day or whenever you have to do it, and then you don't even think about it anymore. So it's like a part of your routine that you don't have to think about anymore. For example, brushing your teeth, you don't think about that, you just do it, right? And when I was setting the goal to go to the gym more often, at first I had to be dragged off the couch to actually go to the gym. But now I just don't even think about it. In the evening, I put on my coat, I put on my gym clothes, and I go. I don't think about it anymore, and that's because it has become a part of my daily routine. My second tip is to have a buddy that will keep you accountable. So going back to the example of me trying to go to the gym more often, I always go with my boyfriend, and he definitely keeps me accountable for going. If I would flash him, he would be very disappointed, of course, and to avoid that disappointment, I go with him, and that really helps me to establish my own routine. My third tip is to put your goals somewhere where you can see it every day and where you're reminded of your goals often. So don't write it down in a notebook and then put the notebook away. Put it on a post-it on your desk or on your mirror. Make sure that you're reminded constantly of your own goals, otherwise you forget about them and you forget why you're doing it, and you forget, to keep on working on your goals. I notice that when I remind myself of my goals more often, I am more likely to achieve that goal. So what I like to do, for example, is set some goals every week to achieve a bigger goal. So if my bigger goal is to go to the gym more consistently, I wrote down each week that I wanted to go to the gym X amount of times. When it's in your planner or when it's on a post-it on your desk, you see it every day, you're reminded of it every day, and then you're like, okay, I have to go to the gym today in order to achieve my goal. If you have more tips on how to achieve your goals, please comment them down below so we can all learn from each other. And also, I'm super curious to hear about your goals for 2023. Comment them down below so I can read them and respond to them, and wish you all good luck. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!